against hate crimes, number one. Number two, we are providing legal aid to victims of discrimination and abuse. If not direct legal aid, we help them publicize their cause. Especially the hate crimes and the legal aspect. That's what we're doing now. We don't have a lot of money. Number three, we are helping raise awareness on HIV/AIDS because it's a very big issue. We're having alliances with many organizations, including the Love Yourself Project. Kung ganyan yung Love Yourself Project, I'm part of that. That group that gives free counseling. And then here in Chameleon Windwater Project, Windwater Project, Order of the Chameleons, the first Catholic order that gives free HIV care, prevention, and treatment. Catholic order to, I'm helping give them free publicity. Ako ang PR nila. Ako ang libreng PR nila. So, we're helping, number one, against hate crimes. Number two, HIV/AIDS awareness. Number three, legal aid to our members. That's what we can do so far, given our limited resources.
So, in your opinion, what are the greatest accomplishments of LADLAD since its start?
Oh, we were accredited. We're the first LGBT political party in the Philippines. And CNN, as I said to you earlier, CNN called us because CNN did research in New York, in Israel, in Europe, in the US, and the consensus is LGBT, among LGBT scholars and activists, that LADLAD is the only gay political party in the world that's existing. The one in Israel was absorbed by a bigger party. The other party in, I forgot which country, vanished from the face of the earth. So kami lang ang buhay pa hanggang ngayon.
So that's the greatest.
That's the best, and of course, many people are saying that because of LADLAD, because of the work I've done for LADLAD, LGBT issues now are discussed soberly and seriously by media. 20 years ago, they laughed at us. Now, media and students like you run after us for commentary on LGBT issues. So we are now taken seriously because we have projected a sober, serious, and focused image before the public. Because sometimes, or most of the time, the battle is for the hearts and minds of the people. It's a matter of perception and image. Kaya like mabasa ko yung mga vlog ng tao, ay, ayaw namin yung Danton, masyadong matapang, ba't di na lang si Ricky Reyes? I asked Ricky Reyes many times, could you run for congressman of LADLAD? He said no. Ba't di na si Boyabunda? I asked Boyabunda many times, ayaw niya. I've asked several gay personalities to run. I'm willing to be behind the scenes, but nobody wants. So Boyabunda is now our political advisor. Vice Ganda will soon be one of our endorsers, I think. Oh, walang bayad dyan. Pati si Ai ang babaeng bading.
So,
Pati si Bibi Gandang Hari, nasa New York ngayon.
ito na yung ranting part. Do you think that all the party lists in the Philippines do their intended function?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Wait, bakit ito nagwala? Many party lists in the Philippines don't know what they're doing. Many party lists in the Philippines were formed to become the platform for congressmen who cannot run anymore because you can only allow 3 terms. So many of them formed their own party so they can run for 4th term as party list candidates. Now, other times, they are platforms for regional groups like Ako Bicol, no? And then the ones in Ilocos, no? Otherwise, at other times, there are mouthpieces of government people like GMA form Kasangga party list for relatives, and then Mikey Arroyo took over the security guards group, tricycles group, of which he is neither, no? Diba? So it is a vehicle for people who cannot run anymore, people who are in power, people who are part of the elite democracy that runs this country. We don't. Party list groups are supposed to be for marginalized, voiceless, poor, disadvantaged groups. What are GMA's son, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. What are the rich people of government doing with the party system? They're using it for their own purposes. That's why we should not vote for them. They are not the marginalized. They're the greedy, old political order that should be cut off from the face of the earth. Diba? Agree?
Yeah.
Oh, spin a win.
Follow up na lang. Do you think in Noynoy's administration, the party-list system, the previous problem of the party-list system would be solved? Like the relatives who are not poor?
Well, we have to see that yet, no? Because okay, LADLAD was held in 2010 by two people who are now with the Aquino government. One was the Commissioner of Human Rights, Lilia de Lima. Lilia de Lima wrote CHR opinions which were appended or added to our Supreme Court pleading. She helped us. And of course, Akbayan Partylist former Congresswoman Eta Rosales helped us then and is helping us now. But now they're both with the government. They cannot help us officially because you're not supposed to politicize to join a political party or have a political party. But these two people is just being consistent because it's also quiet on many other issues.
Yeah.
Diba? It's called the silence of the lambs. Ano ba yun? It's about massacre.
Yeah. Okay. So,
It's about carnivores.
It's just cutting up people to make their
Cutting
own suit.
people to...
Gumagawa siya ng suit para
Oh.
para maging woman siya.
so next question. What drives LADLAD to improve?
Well, what drives that is that we have to have an anti-discrimination bill that will protect us, our rights in the workplace and in the schools. No? It will allow us to get licenses to operate businesses or to start careers. No? In short, it's human rights for all, equal rights for everybody. That is what drives us. Actually, when COMELEC was against us in 2007-2010, the more determined LADLAD was, or especially me, to fight them. Because the more you put up obstacles, the more we will fight you. Because LGBTs are used to be discriminated against, no? So what is one more stupid COMELEC commissioner against everything we have suffered from? So in the end, we were proven correct. The Supreme Court ruled that there is no state religion. We should respect LGBT people and we should be allowed to love.
So how do you think would the country be like if LADLAD did not exist?
Well, if LADLAD did not exist, the country will be, you have a population, that's 10% of the population, LGBTs, who are just quiet, or discriminated against, who are the butt of jokes, who are stereotyped. Lesbians are like what? Security guards and bus conductors. Gay men are what? Entertainers, showbiz reporters, hairdressers, no? Bisexuals are invisible, and transgenders are sex workers on Makati Avenue, Quezon Avenue, in Japan. This will be the stereotypes, no? Yan yung sundo nyo. Hanggang naman. So there will be less happiness among a sector of the Philippines. We will have a lower degree of gross national happiness. Diba? Bago kategorya.
Yes, sir.
Akin yan. Akin mo yan.
So, last question. Beyond the 2013 elections, what are the future plans of LADLAD?
Well, because I'm sure we're going to get at least one seat, no? So we have pork barrel money for our projects, which are the setting up of centers all over the Philippines to give free medical aid, counseling, legal aid, library information resources to runaway LGBT youth, to old and abandoned LGBT, and of course for the livelihood for the poor and physically disabled LGBT Filipinos. So the backbone is economic and social development. of the, kasi gay ka na, marginalized ka pa, gay ka na, disabled ka pa, gay ka na, poor ka pa, so you're doubly marginalized, you're in a double bind, no? So those are the people we will help. The people who are doubly marginalized because of the poverty and their sexual orientation and gender identity, SOGI, sexual orientation and gender identity, which is homosexuality.
So, yun lang po yung question.
May follow-up lang. Sir, so do you think na kailangan talaga ang party-list system sa Philippines?
Of course! The party system is important, but it should be cleansed. Like many things in this country, it should be deodorized, cleansed, and fumigated, no? The fake parties should not be allowed to run anymore. The selection principle, the principle of selection for candidates should be very strict. It should be above board. We should not allow the remnants of the elite political democracy to run again, no? Because they've been here for so long. Where are we? We have very weak democratic institutions, no? Congress, police, military, judiciary, they're very weak. Weakened further by Ms. Arroyo. So it's now, at least Comelec now is much better, no? DOJ, we have a fighter there, no? CHR, we have a fighter there, no? CJ Corona is still there, no? But I don't know how long he will stay there, no? So there are changes. Slow but present changes.
How long, tingin niyo po, kasi na-mention niyo po kanina na yung ibang mga LGBT parties from other countries or parang nadi-dissolve na lang sila, nawawala na lang
Oo,
sila.
nilamon sila ng big parties, binili sila.
So, ang sinabi niya po, you're trying to hold, yung one of the prime na ginagawa niya is to hold the people together, hold your people together. So, how do you think, parang kaya po kaya ng grupo niyo na
Magsalita ka lang,
hold
binabasa ko
together.
lang ito. Of course, with me as chairman, we can do that. The ones who don't want to follow the group's order will expel. No? Isn't in our constitution and bylaws, expulsion of members who don't want to follow the rules and regulations, I will expel them, I will suspend them or expel them following due process and committee deliberations. Eh, ginugulo kayo, eh, disipain mo, barilin mo. Hindi ba? Alam mo, will you allow them to destroy what you've done for the last 8 years? In any group, in any nest, in any basket, there'll be bad eggs. What do you do with bad eggs? You break them. You throw them to the ground and spit on them. Diba? Tapos.
Okay. Yun lang po yung question.
Malo ka siguro yung klase niyo.